So it's almost time for the players from Manchester United and Manchester City to emerge from the tunnel away to our left-hand side. There's not a seat to be had inside Old Trafford with the rain falling. And Robbie, you just pointed out to me, right at the far corner of the stadium as we look at it, lots and lots of flags being held up by the United fans over there.
Yeah, I've never seen that before in the right-hand corner. You know, flags waving. You know, what an atmosphere we've got here.
Well, we've just seen an embrace in the tunnel between Louis van Gaal and Manuel Pellegrini, two managers who have felt pressure for different reasons during the course of this season. And like two prize fighters emerging from the dressing rooms for a heavyweight title fight, out come the players of Manchester United and Manchester City. Wayne Rooney at the head of the Manchester United line in the red shirts, the white shorts and the black socks, and a couple of yards away, Vincent Kompany and the players from Manchester City in their sky blue. Louis van Gaal's had to wait to see his team start playing the football that the Manchester United supporters want. Manchester City, on the other hand, have got the upper hand over Manchester United in recent derby games, but they've hit a flat spot in the Premier League. City pride is at stake, Manchester bragging rights, and of course as well vital Barclays Premier League points in front of a full house in the rain here at Old Trafford. Your commentary team on 5 Live, Robbie Savage alongside Alan Green.
Just looking to the far right hand corner, Robbie, where all those banners are. As a frequent visitor like yourself to the ground, I've never seen banners there before, and I'm just wondering, they've been talking a lot about having a sort of singing quarter of the stadium. That bunch in that far right looks particularly vociferous at the moment. Have fans been replanted? I don't know, but it's unusual. So here we are, in 7 of the last 8 seasons, Manchester has won the Premier League title. Manchester red or Manchester blue. They're not going to win the title this season. That victory for Chelsea at Loftus Road earlier with the late goal by Cesc Fabregas has probably made it absolutely categorically certain that even if Chelsea collapse, only Arsenal are really capable of catching them. So United and City at best are going to be third, you would think. But who knows what awaits us this afternoon. I'm just delighted that a miserably cold, windy afternoon in the northwest of England will have heat generated not just from 76,000 fans, but the passion that will be evident on the playing surface in front of us. These are the two teams in full. First of all, Manchester United, goalkeeper De Gea, defence of Valencia, Jones, Smalling and Blint, then Carrick sitting in front of that defence, then Mata, Herrera, Fellaini and Young, and finally the skipper Rooney. City's goalkeeper is also the England goalkeeper, Hart. Their defence, Zabaleta, Kompany, Demichelis and Clichy. Then Fernandinho and Yaya Toure sitting in front of those back four. Then Milner, Silva and Navas, and finally Aguero, who has gone 6 games without scoring. That's an unusual spell, let's say, for Aguero, Robbie.
Sorry, I can't hear it, it's that loud.
Just said Aguero hasn't scored for 6 games.
Yeah,
I think very unusual for him.
No, it's he's got a good record here coming to us. I remember him getting, I think it was the winner last year, a season ago, so can he get back on the score sheet today?
The best referee in England is in charge of the match. That's Mark Clattenburg in his yellow shirt alongside the all-blue kit of Manchester City, the red shirts, white shorts and black socks of Manchester United. United will defend the Stretford end in the first 45 minutes. We're underway, and it's very, very important, this game, not just for local bragging rights, but also Champions League qualification at the end of the campaign. Fellaini, the Belgian, has the ball on the far side of the field. It'll be interesting to see if he comes up against a fellow Belgian, Kompany, when he's jumping to win the ball in the air.
Interesting thing already, Milner starting behind Aguero with Silva on the left-hand side, so it's Milner, you know, he's got to get the support
centre of
Aguero.
That three. Yeah, Navas down the right, Silva down the left, and Milner in the middle. The ball's played towards Aguero at the moment. Headed away by Phil Jones for Manchester United. Now it goes beyond Milner to Aguero. Swept by Fernandinho to Silva. And now Clichy on the near side of the field, the left back from Manchester City. Into Silva. City 1, the other fixture in the derby back in November by goal to nil. Chris Smalling was sent off in the first half. 2 yellow cards. So I'm sure Van Gaal has emphasised to his players the need for discipline.
Yeah, that was a silly tackle, the 2 tackles he made, especially the second one, to get that second yellow card. Cutting early on, giving the ball away, kicking the ball out of play needlessly. Decent start from United.
Here's Michael Carrick finding Valencia, still operating as a right back, on to Herrera. Valencia again. Oh, Mata was definitely caught by Clichy, and if it wasn't the second minute of the game, I think Mark Clattenburg might well have booked the fullback.
Yeah, it doesn't matter the second minute. No, he's got a book in there.
Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking, if you book, introduce a card this early, you're sort of dictating the tempo.
Yeah, you are, but you've got to be careful. You can't dive into tackles like that. Mata nicked the ball away. Clichy's gone in, caught him with his left foot. Should have been a yellow card.
Navas heads the ball down, but only to Carrick. Here's Fellaini, and onto the far side, and Blint. Blint goes very well, skipping past Navas, in towards Rooney, cleared by Demichelis. The ball's midway inside the Manchester City half. Now to Ashley Young on the far side of the field, onto his right foot, crosses, headed clear by Company, and good control by David Silva. Then he just overran the ball breaks into the City penalty area, but Hart dives in front of the England captain Rooney and gathers the ball safely for City.
Very nervous start from Manchester City, giving the ball away, dangerous areas, but what great goalkeeping from Joe out there. Come out, he was alert, he was on the front foot, dived to the feet of Rooney. Brave goalkeeping.
Just in that fans panel that chose an 11 made up of United and City players, De Gea got the vote ahead of Hart. He would have got my vote as well, but it's very close between the 2 goalkeepers. And basically, if you're going to challenge for the Champions League places or titles, you've got to have an exceptional keeper. Here's Milner down that left side now, tackled by Valencia, and Valencia clears onto the right foot of Milner, and out it goes for a throw in. 3 minutes played here at Old Trafford, and you can tell it's noisy. In the Rugby Union, the full-time score, Exeter 21, Northampton 10. Throw in taken by Valencia, headed back by Manchester City. Silva almost plays a 1-2 successfully with Milner, but it's cleared by United up over the halfway line, and out of play it goes for a throw into Manchester City again. Just for a second Milner had come to the left, but now he's occupying that central role again. Silva's available, but the throw goes beyond. Both of them, Milner and Silva. Aguero plays a 1-2. Aguero now into the United penalty area. Aguero's done really well, tried to pull the cross back. Fortunate for United that it hit Smalling, not once but twice, and then Smalling managed to put the ball out of play for a throw-in.
Very good defending by Smalling. Watched the ball, he's still on his feet, didn't let Aguero get past him. Very good defending, positive start from Smalling defensively. Throw
into City halfway inside the Manchester United half. City attacking the Stretford end in the first half. The throw goes to Milner, so underrated in this Manchester City side. Pass back to Silva, now with Yaya Toure, 25 yards out. On to Zabaleta on the far side of the field. Navas to his right. It's flicked towards the Spaniard. Low cross into the penalty area, but easily cleared by Smalling, and it's now out for a throw into Manchester City.
You know, if you're Zabaleta, you've got to isolate Navas against Blint. You know, we were here, I think, against the Spurs game. We said Townsend, get at Blint. He didn't do it. He got taken off after, I think, half an hour. Navas has got to be one-on-one with Blint. Zabaleta just got to leave him have a one-on-one situation, because I think he could have the beating of Blint.
From the throw-in, Silva finds Yaya Toure, and then City lose the ball, and it's clear up to the halfway line, and out of play goes. Another throw-in to City as a result. United started brightly, but Manchester City have now assumed some control. There's been a goal at Hibs running for side.
Yes, we're in injury time, so this will probably be the end of the action. Hibs have scored again. Farid El Aghalagui make it 2-0 for Hibs, adding to Cummings' earlier goal. That will keep Hibs neck and neck with Rangers, who are leading Wraith Rovers 2-0 at half-time at Ibrox.
Demichelis shoots the ball forward. Navas is after it. He's onside. Navas into the penalty area. He angles a good blocking save by De Gea.
Yeah, it was that's where they can exploit. It was a great run. He beat the offside trap. He run from deep, clearly onside.
Here's Yaya Toure again, moving into the United penalty area. Low ball played in towards Navas, knocked behind for a corner. City playing well.
Navas has got to do much better there. He didn't have no confidence when he was one-on-one with the keeper. De Gea just stood still, hit him on the knees, and then Yaya Toure does so well. Aguero try to get across the near post. What wonderful defending from Smalling once again.
6 minutes gone here on 5 Live. United 0, City 0. Earlier, Chelsea won 1-0 at QPR. Corner to City, and the header on must have hit another defender. Mark Clattenburg wasn't quite sure, but in the end signalled another corner. Navas is going to take it from the right side. Yaya Toure and company, obvious aerial targets, but look, there's Silva completely unmarked, and as the corner was played short, back to Navas. Navas crosses low, half cleared. Yaya Toure shoots, blocked by Manchester United, and United are rocking a little bit here in the early moments at Old Trafford. Clichy's cross, deep, headed down by Fellaini, it hit Zabaleta and rebounded to De Gea, and De Gea clears to Young. Young onto Herrera. Good challenge by Fernandinho on Herrera. Yaya Toure inside the centre circle. On to Silva. Silva's everywhere. And United aren't picking him up. Now Mill side, being forced to retreat by Valencia's persistence, but that's a good chip pass by the England player. Finding company, the City captain. On to Zabaleta on the far side. The right fullback. And now to Di Michelis. So, United's bright start quickly extinguished. City in control for the moment. Clichy cutting in from the left side, beats 2 United players comfortably. He's got Milner to his left. He finds James Milner. Milner level with the edge of the penalty area. Into the box to Silva. Silva unmarked. Crosses low, and it's tapped in by Sergio Aguero. 7.5 minutes gone, and Aguero scores again against Manchester United. That's 7 goals in 8 games in the Manchester derby for Sergio Aguero. It was coming. City deservedly take the lead.
Well, you've got to say, great play from Man City, but Juan Mata doesn't track his man. He tries to pass him on to Carrick. So much miscommunication between Mata and Carrick. Silva gets in behind him. Aguero's unmarked in the 6-yard box. It's absolutely poor defending, but what great run. Carrick's let Silva go. Aguero's in between Blint and Jones. Simple tapping, positive start for Man City, deservedly taking the lead.
Right, who forecast that? United 0, City 1. And that has a dampening effect, to say the least, not just the rain, dampening effect on the vast majority of the crowd inside Old Trafford. The ball back to De Gea. De Gea badly exposed by rank defending from those in red.
Yeah, you've got to say, it was the run from Silva. Mata initially had him. He tried to pass him on to Carrick. Carrick was stationary, he couldn't move his feet. Great little ball from, I think it was Milner, and then Aguero's unmarked in the 6-yard box, simple tapping.
There was also great work, Robbie, by Clichy, because it was his burst forward from the halfway line initially, leaving 2 United players for dead.
Yeah, it was Herrera who went past so easy. Herrera should have brought him down. He should have fouled Clichy. Yeah, people wouldn't like to listen to that, but it's a professional sport. You got to bring him down.
Final score at Easter Road: Hibs 2, Hearts 0 in the Edinburgh derby. This, with respect to Hibs and Hearts, is a slightly bigger derby here at Old Trafford, as we welcome listeners to the BBC's World Service. Dramatic opening by Manchester City. They've taken the lead in the 8th minute. Sergio Aguero, his 24th goal of the season, and he's not supposed to be having that good a season.
Yeah, it was, his little movement, sharp little movement. The corner before they scored, it was a great block from Smalling when he got across the near post. What a positive start.
Oh, there's pressure on Jones. Wasn't a great ball back by Blint. Jones reacted quickly, found De Gea, and De Gea clears over the halfway line, taken down well on the chest by Fellaini. And back it goes to Carrick. Carrick to Blint, the United left back these days. And Blint over the halfway line, finds Herrera, and on it comes to the near side of the field. And Valencia looks for Rooney. Rooney's touch wasn't great. He was being hustled by Di Michelis, and now Di Michelis gets the ball to Company. And Company, remember, about whom there was a doubt, an injury doubt prior to the game. Hits it forward. It was a good intention trying to find Milner, but Smalling did well heading it back to De Gea. 10 very busy minutes have flown by. Torrential rain in Manchester. If anything, the wind has eased a little bit. Earlier it was just a freezing cold wind, considering there were people out locally in their shorts last week. Were you, Robbie?
No.
Listen, I saw you outside the Butchers in Prestbury. I saw you out enjoying the sunshine. Anyway, here's Smalling, Smalling comes forward, runs straight into Fernandinho, loses the ball. Here's Milner to Aguero. City much the better team at the moment. Was that a handball by Fellaini? Well, Mark Clattenburg wasn't in a position to see it, but United give the ball away again. Navas to the right of the penalty area. Back to Silva. So much for poor away form from the league champions. Silva in to Fernandinho. Fernandinho fouled by Herrera. Free kick to Manchester City in the centre of the Manchester United half. It is all sky blue.
Yeah, Rooney's going back. He's hammering a few back there. He's got his arms in the air, shouting him, come on. You know, they've not started this game whatsoever. City first, so everything passing the ball. They can't get near him, United. When they do, they're committing fouls. Herrera that time on Fernandinho. Is this in Yaya Touré's range?
It's a long way out, isn't it? I mean, it's at least 35 yards. And De Gea surely is too good a goalkeeper to be unduly perturbed. Maybe Silva's going to take the free kick. He is left-footed. Deep for Dimichelis, completely unmarked on the edge of the penalty area. Again, poor marking from Manchester United. Dimichelis is now stranded upfield though, as United move the ball away from their defence. Herrera slips, flicks it on to Young. Young down the right side, tackled and fouled by Clichy, and it's a free kick to Manchester United now.
Yeah, it was good play from Herrera. You know, it's a silly tackle from Clichy. He's running at speed. You know, Ashley Young has made the most of the foul, but you know, like he can do that. I don't think it's going to be a booking here for Clichy. He's going to get away with another from Clattenburg. He
could have been booked early on.
Yeah, that's two fouls he's committed now. He's got away with two.
I think that's what Rooney's saying to Mark Clattenburg. But I have sympathy with all referees on occasions such as this. You don't want to rush in with cards, and then you'll find yourself sending somebody up. I mean, that conceivably could have been the second yellow card for Clichy.
Yeah, it could have. His first one should have been, you know, a yellow. That one could have also been.
City lead 1-0, 13 minutes play. Free kick to Manchester United towards this near touchline. The United right in the first half. Mata's left foot or Young's right. One or t'other. Fellaini waits. He's an obvious target. It's Mata, left-footed, not a good free kick. Didn't beat the first defender. Headed away by Clichy to the halfway line, and goodness gracious, Navas almost caught Jones in possession. And the ball, luckily for United, squirted back to De Gea, who clears quickly. What a start to the game. There's a low cross in. Here's Young with a chance. 1-1. He didn't convert it first time. The ball broke back to him off an offender, and no mistaking with a second effort. Ashley Young has equalised. It's Manchester United 1, Manchester City 1, and we've played barely 14 minutes.
Oh, what a game! You've got to say, it was a terrible free kick from Mata, headed away by Clichy. Then Phil Jones just got enough on it to De Gea, who smashed it out to the left-hand side. What a touch from Herrera. He took it on the half volley across the defender, whipped it in the near post. Asked what defending it was from Dimichelis. He's got the block on Ashley Young, I think it was, or was it Clichy? But it's rebounded so lucky to Ashley Young. He's reacted first and stuck it into an empty net. What a game we've got here.
Yeah, it's an awful game. Awful game. 2 goals already.
Great defending initially from Clichy to get the block on Ashley Young, but the rebound, he was first to react and put it into the net.
Now there's a foul on Navas on the far side of the field. So City look not only much the better team, they scored, were in control, and now it's 1-1. What of an hour?
What about Herrera's touch? You know, he makes so many runs forward now to support Rooney, and he's again, what a touch from Herrera. Created the goal, brilliant from Herrera.
I had the privilege of talking to him after the Villa game, and he's a really nice young man. 1-1, United and City. Here's Company from Manchester City, on to Zabaleta.
It's so open, Alan.
It is.
I've never seen such an open derby,
actually.
yeah. But a great spectacle.
A long ball played by Company, too long for Clichy, and it's trying to play for a throw-in. Just, you know, I had to project what I would pick a back four from the two clubs combined, and I prefaced my selection by saying if you allowed me to include Chelsea, I'd pick the whole of the Chelsea back line rather than any of the United defenders or City defenders, and I think we've seen enough in the first 15 minutes to explain why. Defensively, they're just not that cute. Ball's back with Joe Hart, and on to Company. The United fans clearly have found their voices again. Hard to make yourself heard inside Old Trafford. On to Navas. Navas backfield the ball to Brent. It rebounded to Navas, and that's why it's out for United throw, which Brent takes to Young. And Young drives it towards Mata. Clichy lost his footing and they regained it before Mata could do any further damage. Clichy, just outside his own penalty area, clears it up towards Milner. Smalling tries to chest the ball back to another red shirt, and he finds Fernandinho. Good ball to Aguero. Yaya Toure stopped running. I thought he was going to run into a goal-scoring opportunity, but now it's with Navas. Navas tries to cross, it hits a United defender, and here's Herrera. Herrera caught in possession by Aguero, but helped out by Valencia, who clears to the halfway line. Headed forward by Clichy. And now Fernandinho. There's nothing dull about this game on 5 Live. 1-1 already in the Manchester derby. City took the lead, United equalised.
I think the difference with this Manchester United team since the introduction of Carrick is he allows people to run forward from midfield, and the goal Herrera done that. You can argue that defensively from City's goal, Mata should have tracked his runner, but Carrick should have seen the run, but in a positive way, Carrick's influence on his team allows Herrera, Fellaini to run forward.
It's the City goal scorer Aguero who lost the ball, but it's back with City with De Michelis and to Company, and Rooney a little bit isolated at the moment. Zabaleta just to the right of the centre circle, plays the ball through the circle to De Michelis, swept on quickly to Clichy, the left back. 18 minutes gone, 1 goal each. Now it's with Aguero, lovely work by Aguero, looking for Milner. Jones got across first and cleared it out of play, and it's a throw into Manchester City, who have resumed control of the game.
It's great one-touch play, you know. When Aguero drops deep, sometimes Milner's the number 9. Good link-up play between these two, you know, early on in the game.
Clichy's throw-in to Aguero, edge of the United penalty area, and then in an attempt to keep possession, he fouled Carrick, and it's a free kick to Manchester United.
Yeah, it's sloppy play from United initially, because you surely got to have somebody in front of Aguero there on the edge of the box, not allowing him to get the ball to feet, but it was a good recovery from Carrick, who nicked the ball, gets a free kick for United.
Don't forget Masters coverage this evening on 5 Live. Can Justin Rose pull back those 4 strokes on Jordan Spieth? Wonderful young player, the American. Fabulous first 3 rounds. Still winnable by Justin Rose. And before that, of course, we'll have 606. Ball is with Manchester United for a throw-in, just short of the halfway line. It's been torrential, this rain, for the last hour and a half, something like that. Not very pleasant in the afternoon, but it's a terrific game here at Old Trafford. Michael Carrick for United to Valencia. Valencia's pass was sloppy, and it's headed further forward by Aguero, and the pass back by Blind. Awkward to De Gea, and his first touch wasn't clever. Navas almost got to the ball in front of the United goalkeeper. Moment of danger for the home defence, but Blint moves forward now from left back into Young, scorer of the United equaliser, onto Blint down the left side. Could have crossed first time, didn't, and now he's being hustled by Company, and it's out of play. It's going to be a throw in to Manchester City.
We can just see there though Yaya Toure's reluctance to get across. It was Company who had to come out the centre half position, ended up as a right back, and you know, Company's form's not been great this year, and I think that's the reason why, because he's covering too many people.
Well, what's wrong with Yaya Toure is that, you know, he obviously needs a good birthday cake this year with a Lamborghini that comes out of the middle of it, something like that, and make him happy. Here's Valencia for Manchester United to Mata. Mata's return pass not great. Silva caught there by Herrera. There's a lot of surface water here at Old Trafford. That is encouraging the ball to squirt successfully forward. Now Clichy crosses low. Aguero tries to tuck it on. Still might be a chance for Silva. Silva's there, so too United defenders, and it's cleared upfield by Jones. It's wildly open, the game. Company flicks the ball over Wayne Rooney. Plays a 1-2 with Fernandinho. On to Clichy. And now Silva. Silva, what a magical player he is. That's not great from Milner. Giving it away to Mata. Mata back to Carrick. Fellaini to his left, and it goes to the Belgian. And now Blint, the Dutchman. Or was he just rocking back on his heels because Fellaini's pass went a few yards ahead of him and straight out of play for a throw-in?
I think they're exploiting the fact down this right-hand side that Valencia is not a right back. He's not an out-and-out right back. Defensively, there's big question marks over him. And City with Clichy, Milner, Silva at times, all dragging over this side. They're exploiting the Smalling and Valencia partnership. There's gaps in between, and Valencia is not a right back in my opinion. He's a right winger or a right wing back.
Or a wing back at best. I tell you, I don't blame the player, Robbie. I mean, that would be unfair of us. It's, that's what the manager wants. But it also shows that Pellegrini knows his tactics sometimes, Yeah,
the goals come from this side, lack of communication, lack of an understanding of midfield runner, and City are doing well on this left-hand side.
We're almost midway through the first half, and it has flown by. United 1, City 1, here on 5 Live in the World Service from the BBC. Here's Aguero, scorer of the early City goal. Back now, and Demichelis flicks it forward. Silva goes on towards Milner, who was onside. De Gea out of his penalty area, spotting the danger very quickly, and he hooks the ball out of play for a City throw-in.
An interesting just little thing there, just watch how close Fellaini is to Yaya Toure at times. I wouldn't say he's man-to-man marking him, but when he goes in his area, he's very, very close to him. He tracks his runs. Just keep an eye on that one.
City throw-in, and it's gone behind for a corner. Off Blint. Or maybe it was off Young. Actually, I think it was Young, not Blint. Anyway, Navas to take the corner, and Company and Demichelis go up to join Fernandinho and Yaya Toure inside the United penalty at the Stretford end of Old Trafford. Navas with the corner. Far too deep, surely. Oh, Aguero tried to shoot on the volley. It was blocked by a defender. I think it might have been on target, that. Anyway, it's back with Clichy. Clichy dinks it towards Navas, who made the run forward too quickly. He's offside.
Yeah, it was, you've just got to question Navas' ball into the box, whether it be a corner. We see when he was 1-on-1 with De Gea, he just didn't look confident at all. His final ball, yes, he gets behind Blint on occasions, but when he puts the ball across the box, his final ball in the final third is just not good enough.
Nasri's on the bench. I can see him being amongst those to leave Manchester City in the summer.
Yeah, I think they need to rebuild in the summer. I think this is an aging squad. The majority of the players, his best players were Mancini's best players.
Here's Rooney, who gets a rare touch. He hasn't seen much of the ball, the United skipper. Good pass infield to Herrera, who steps away from Fernandinho, but then is faced by Yaya Toure. So plays it back to Michael Carrick. Carrick to Herrera again, and now Smalling on the halfway line in the centre circle. Smalling pushes the ball towards the near side, and Valencia the right back. Valencia into Mata. Valencia again. And Valencia, good ball to Herrera. Herrera pulled back by Milner. That will be a yellow card.
Yeah, very, very good play from Valencia in this right back position. Little flick over. I think it was Silva into Herrera's pass. And Herrera started this game so well. Been so impressed. And a player with confidence. Question marks about him early in the season. But, he's performing so well in recent weeks. And I think that's a deserved yellow card for Milner.
Just before I interviewed him at the Villa, after the Villa game, there was a query about whether he could speak English properly, and his minder wasn't sure. He speaks excellent English. He's just such a nice, rounded young man. Young with a free kick, deep for Fellaini. Fellaini heads it down, but only finds Silva. Silva sweeps the ball away to partial safety in the far side. Kept in play by Blint. Finding Fellaini, but no, the ball's out of play. It's going to be a throw into Manchester City.
Yeah, it was a lovely knockdown from Fellaini towards the edge of the area, but United players set everybody in. Nobody coming to attack the ball from the edge of the area. 25
minutes gone. You're listening to 5 Live in the World Service on the BBC. Earlier, it finished Queen's Park Rangers 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea have moved on to 73 points, 7 points clear of Arsenal, and they've got a game in hand. And here at Old Trafford, commentary on Manchester United 1, Manchester City 1. Herrera for United to Valencia. It's been a very attractive game of football, and I think the conditions are helping that. It's slippy out there on the surface, greased by the rain. Rooney now. Rooney steps away from Demichelis, but not Fernandinho, and now Manchester City in the counter-attack. Milner left side, Aguero's in the inside right channel. Milner held the ball up. finds Yaya Toure, and Yaya Toure holding off Smalley and then slips. It wasn't a foul by Smalley, he just slipped. He's wrong to appeal for a free kick. Ball is with Jones, left for Mata, and Mata to the far side, and Yaya Toure's back and on his feet and sort of trotting back into the City half. 26 minutes gone, 1-1 in the Manchester derby. Carrick looking for Fellaini. Fellaini did well to hold off two challenges, but his pass back to Carrick was astray, and it's with Aguero. You forget how hard Aguero works. Look where he challenged Carrick there. He's sort of 15 yards inside his own half.
Yeah, I think some of his teammates should look at him, especially Yaya Toure. He made the run into United's half. He slipped over, but he sat on the floor for 4 or 5 seconds, let his other teammates get back. As I said before the game, recovery runs from Yaya Toure is so important, especially in a derby.
Yeah, he needed someone to bring a hanky on so he could wipe his tears. Here's Herrera to Valencia and Mata just over the halfway line and eluding Milner, who's already been booked for a foul. Good ball by Mata to Young. Young brings it under control, left of the City penalty area, and then backheels the ball to Blint. Blint, will he get the cross back? Mata's waiting for it. Instead it goes back to Young. Young crosses deep toward Fellaini. Fellaini heads it in. It's 2-1 to Manchester United. 27 minutes gone. They were a goal down after 8 minutes. They equalised 6 minutes later, and now Fellaini, with his 6th goal of the season, makes it United 2, City 1.
I said before the game, when Darren Fletcher asked me who would be the key to this game, it's Fellaini. It was such a simple header, to be fair. Ashley Younger's great. He has peeled onto Cliche on the back post. One-on-one situation. What a pick out from Ashley Young. He's guided to the back post, and Fellaini heads it in. Joat nearly saves it, to be fair. I think he's just onside. It's a decent header downwards. Joat nearly gets his left hand onto it, but 2-1 United. Fellaini, that man again, great header. 2-1.
Sorry, I must apologise to listeners on 5 Live in the World Service. Such a poor game. Sorry if you're having to endure this. 2-1 United lead City. Again, the defending though is poor, Robbie. It's, you know, from both sides. Here's Carrick. Rooney, lovely flick on. Fellaini finds Young. United search for a third. It's a deep cross from Young, well beyond Mata, and Clichy hooks the ball away, but only onto the right foot of Carrick, who helps it forward, and it bounces behind for a goal kick to Manchester City.
Yeah, United exploiting the right back area of Manchester City. Blint and Young against Zabaleta and Navas. It's a mismatch, you know, when a mismatch, I should say, when they're going forward. Young and Blint are dominating Zabaleta and Navas.
Just going across to the Sir Alex Ferguson stand, and it's relatively muted, the fans there. Then you look in that right hand corner and they're going berserk. That's a newly vibrant area of the stadium.
Yeah, we said before the game, all the
flags, they've all disappeared, the banners, but look at them bouncing up and down, and compare that even with the Stretford end. Throw into Manchester City on the halfway line. Can you believe we've already played 30 minutes? City. Oh, must have given a free kick to Manchester United. Valencia's moaning about something. It's a free kick.
Yeah, Silva just tripped Fellaini in a defensive position, getting back. You know, he's been very, very good, Fellaini, again today. He's very close to Yaya Toure at times, but when he gets back and helps.
Oh, good work between Mata and Herrera. Then Herrera's too clever by half. Only backheels the ball to Aguero. Silva onto Milner. Milner midway inside the Manchester United half. And Milner in towards Silva. The pass under hit. Partially cleared by Carrick, but only to Fernandinho. Half an hour gone. 2-1. Manchester United lead.
Looking at the Fellaini and Toure. When Toure goes forward, Fellaini tracks him. When Fellaini goes forward, Toure doesn't track him. So I think that could be a key. But I wonder if he's worked on that in the week.
Possible. And I mentioned before the game about the influence of Young and Mata in these good results for Manchester. And Fellaini's been a huge influence as well. And I can't believe that I'm saying that, because when he was bought, I thought it wasn't the right fit. Anyway, he's proving me and lots of other people wrong. Here he is again, Fellaini, scored United's second goal, on to score the first one. Young, cutting in towards the penalty area, ran into company. Young went down, and Clattenburg, I think, just said, no, it wasn't a free kick. And now Silva onto Clichy. Matthew's foot was just a little high, but it was fair, and it's out of play for a throw into Manchester City.
Look at the work rate of Manchester United team, pressing high up the pitch. Mata sprints 30 yards to win the tackle on Clichy. You know, and the cheers it gets on this the United fans, the atmosphere in here is brilliant.
Here's Zabaleta, 14 minutes to half time on 5 Live in the World Service. United 2, City 1. There's a foul on Milner by Jones, and Yaya Toure complaining, Fellaini standing in front of the free kick, and Yaya Toure would do the same if the boot was on the other foot. Now Yaya Toure takes the free kick towards Aguero. Milner does well, winning it, taps it to Navas on the far side. City right, into Milner again. Milner tries to cross. He was looking for either a cross in towards Aguero or a corner off a defender. He gets the corner.
Yeah, again, it's you know, Navas, just his final ball's poor. It was Milner who made the run. Milner's been, you know, impressive today actually with his runs off the ball, helping his team, but good pressure from City, another corner.
13 minutes left in a vibrant first half at Old Trafford. Manchester United lead City by 2-1. Navas with the corner. Played in deep, looking for Dimichelis, who gets his forehead to the ball, but only heads it, 6 yards wide. Goal kick to United.
Yeah, the ball in from Navas a bit too high, a bit too floaty, especially in these conditions, and Dimichelis has got to generate all the power himself there. You know, it was a difficult header to get on target. It didn't. Goal kick United.
City have won the last 4 Manchester derbies, but the way things stand, they're heading for a 4th successive away defeat in the league. And remember, they started this game, they were level on points at New Year with Chelsea, and they started this match 12 points behind Chelsea. They have been in decline in 2015. Here's Fellaini for Manchester United, holding off Zabaleta, gets it back to Carrick, and now it's with Jones. Jones, I think, will play it to De Gea. 12 minutes to go to half time. De Gea clears it right-footed, high towards Fellaini. Yaya Toure's there. He gets his head to the ball first, and then Fellaini's pulling him back. Yaya Toure holds on, and then there's a good ball through to Aguero. Brilliant anticipation by De Gea. That's one of the things that makes him an absolutely top-class goalkeeper. Now there's a foul by Silva on Mata, another booking.
Yeah, you've got to say, the starting position from David De Gea is absolutely outstanding. You know, as Yaya Toure held off Fellaini, Herrera is just applauding his goalkeeper, because he wouldn't have got that ball unless his starting position was spot on. He's raced out, cleared it from Aguero. Great goalkeeping.
Well, you know, United have won so many games in this recent run, but how many points have actually been won by that man, David De Gea?
He's their player of the season, no doubt about it.
You know, here's Herrera, centre of the City half, plays it back to Valencia. Good control by the right full-back, just a foot short of the halfway line. Back to Carrick, and Carrick had no alternative but to play it to his goalkeeper. 10 minutes to go to half-time. It's been breathless, the game. Right from the start, De Gea with the clearance, hanging in the wind, and Company beats Rooney in the air, and then Company hooks it onto Navas. Blint wanted it more, and the ball breaks to Young. Young under pressure from Zabaleta, squeezing the ball forward, headed on by Fellaini, headed down by Rooney. Here's Blint up from left back, finding Herrera onto Valencia, and United, you know, are promising to score a 3rd goal before half time. Mata crosses deep, taken on the chest by Fellaini. Fellaini down to Rooney. The flag's up for offside. It's offside, Wayne.
Yeah, it was Fellaini who just moved a fraction too soon, but that was the ball, and he lunged that ball, guided into his chest. He's just got to hold his run a bit longer, Fellaini, but that's the ball. You know, he's so good at that, the way he takes the ball down. And yeah, when he come to this football club, I think he was playing in the wrong position. He's not a holding midfielder. He can't play in a 2. Where he's been playing under Van Gaal, you've got to give Van Gaal credit.
Yes.
He's let Fellaini play in a position where he can affect the game.
Well, he's outstanding in the air, and there's nothing wrong with playing a long ball if you've got someone like him, some sort of lamppost like him, who can, knock it down.
Look at Aston Villa and Tim Sherwood, Benteke. So
yeah, well, I saw Benteke here last weekend, and Benteke won everything in the air against the Manchester United central defenders, and Van Gaal paid tribute to the Villa striker. Was not a good result for Villa yesterday. Ball played forward, passes by Silva, almost ran to Milner, cleared by De Gea, up to the halfway line. Dimichelis wins it ahead of the England and United captain, but he played it only to United again. Mata, whose influence is growing in the game, finds Blint on the far side, onto Fellaini. City defending looks static. Fellaini beaten on this occasion by Yaya Toure, but the Ivorian's clearance headed back by Michael Carrick, but Fellaini's in an offside position, and it's going to be a free kick to City.
Yeah, look, the linesman's got that spot on again. Fellaini was coming back, but it's interesting, the battle between Toure and Fellaini. I would say Yaya Toure then tracked Fellaini back. I would say Fellaini's winning the battle a minute, and I think United are dominating that midfield area.
Zabaleta squeezes the ball down the right side, but it's knocked out of play by Blint, so it's going to be a throw into City. 8 minutes left in the first half on 5 Live in the World Service on the BBC. Don't forget the climax to the Masters tonight on 5 Live. Zabaleta's throw-in towards Aguero, cleared by United. Knocked forward again by Company, it hits a United player, and it's another throw-in to City. Just the only quiet period in the game, actually, just the last minute. It couldn't go on at this pace.
I think the conditions have helped the game, actually.
It does,
with the rain,
absolutely.
the pitch looks immaculate condition. People sliding about, great one-touch passing, zipping it round.
Blint, great control from his pass by Fellaini. Back now to Carrick, on to Blint on the far side of the field, but the pass from Young was just a little bit too firm, and Blint couldn't control it, and it's going to be another throw into Manchester City. That's 3 in quick succession from almost identical positions, 10 yards short of the halfway line. Here's Yaya Toure. That's a good ball forward now. To Navas on the far side, and on to Aguero, who put City in front. After 8 minutes, Aguero spins just outside the United penalty, plays it back. Fernandinho onto Milner. Milner was leaning back. He had this vision in his mind. He's going to hit the ball with the inside of his right foot, and he was going to sweep it high past De Gea. He forgot that it could also go too high, and it did.
Yeah, it was a good play from Fernandinho. Went to take the shot on, put a bit of disguise on it, put it perfectly into Milner's path, who opened his body up. We could all see what he was going to try and do. He was going to try and bend it in the far corner, but just lean back and over the bar. But better from Manchester City.
United 2, City 1. City took the early lead. United responded. Not only to equalise, but to take the lead themselves. Zabaleta heads it to Silva. Silva's flick pass on the volley only found Carrick. Carrick then found Company. But now United have the ball back. Carrick on the halfway line. Plays it a couple of yards to his left to Blint, onto Fellaini. Fellaini just moves away from Yaya Toure, who lets him go continually. On it goes to Young. Young's cross. Probably hoped that Fellaini'd be in the penalty area. He wasn't. Clichy's there, and Clichy hits it off Mata behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, they can't handle Fellaini at the minute. He's bringing the ball down his chest. He's getting behind Toure and in front of Company. Company doesn't know whether to go mark Fellaini. Yaya Toure doesn't know where to pass him on. Fellaini's having a massive influence on the game. Gets a second goal. They can't cope with Fellaini.
So Joe Hart to take the goal kick from Manchester City. Manuel Pellegrini is in the technical area. After the way City started the game, they looked terrific for the first 10 minutes. But United have been in charge for the most part ever since. Company beats Rooney in the air, but the header runs straight to Michael Carrick, and Carrick shoots the ball high again towards the United left. Blint with a good header down to find Young. Young used his fist there on Zabaleta. I don't know. I'd love to see that again. I think he was unhappy that Zabaleta got in front of him, but he seemed to go through with his fist.
Well, I think, yeah, Zabaleta's got the right side of Young, and Zabaleta goes down, and did Young swing an arm there? We haven't seen the replay, but did Young swing an arm?
That's how it looked on first sight to me. Now Blint on towards Young, and Young, well, unhappy with the pass, and it's gone behind for a goal kick. Inside the final 5 minutes of the first half here at a windy, drenched Old Trafford. Not that anybody minds the weather when you're watching a spectacle like this. United 2, City 1. Hart finally takes the goal kick, and it's driven straight onto the forehead of Phil Jones, who heads it back into the City half. Dimichelis heads it away, Yaya Toure heads it on. Jones heads it down again, and Carrick keeps it on the floor but doesn't find Rooney with a pass. Jones involved for the third time. He's not sure that he hit that pass directly as he meant it, but it went back to De Gea, and De Gea clears, and goodness, might have seemed accidental clash of heads there, Company and Fellaini, but no harm seems to have been done, and the ball's back with Joe Hart, and Hart clears it to the near side. It wasn't a good clearance by the Union keeper, and it's straight out of play for a throw into United. Yeah,
great play from Herrera. He closes first the centre half down, then he continues his run, closes Joe Hart down and gets the throw in for this side. The workman,
Here's Jones. Jones did well there. He was put under pressure, but he kept the ball in United's possession. Now he finds Blint. 3 minutes to half time. I can't remember any stoppage in the first 42 minutes. City have the ball back, and now it's into Milner. Milner onto Aguero. Aguero's onside. Silva's completely unmarked. Aguero doesn't know he's got company, and in the end he runs the ball behind for nothing other than a goal kick.
Wonderful defending from Valencia there. Smalling tried to step up. He didn't know what was behind him. Valencia went with the run of Aguero, but if Aguero looks up first time, I think he had Silva unmarked, but what great cover from Valencia there.
Rooney holds off Dimichelis, does really well. Rooney there, finding Herrera, and now Mata. And Blint's available on the far side, but it's going to Jones first, and now on to Blint. Blint to Fellaini. And the return pass, oh goodness. Fernandinho's in a spot of bother here. He certainly caught Blint.
Company.
Is it Company? Yeah. Apologies. Well, he's certainly going to get a yellow carded for this. I don't think it'll be worse than that. Suddenly our picture's gone in the little monitor we've got in front of us.
Yeah.
2 minutes to half time.
This could be a red,
the pass was slightly underhit to Blint. Company thought he could get there, and he caught the Dutch fullback.
He's in conversation with his linesman. You can see the way they're communicating. He's going over to his linesman now. This could be a red.
This could be a red card for Company. We'll see. Final discussion between assistant and referee. Company standing very close by. Here's the card, and it's yellow.
Obviously he's in conversation because was the linesman closer? It's a lunge in from Company there. Rash challenge. It's on Blint. The pass was under hit. He certainly caught his left foot. There's no question about that. Well, Wayne Rooney's now having his say. So we've had 3 yellow cards for City players in the first half of the game. Remember, Smalling sent off at the Etihad in November. You've got to say that is a borderline yellow card because his studs are up. He's caught him high, but benefit of that, I think there's just referee's got it just right there.
Throw in the City. What's the decision? No. City thought it was their throw-in. It's not. It's United's throw-in. Mere seconds left of the first half. United 2, City 1. Here's Blint, who's recovered from the Company challenge. Back to Carrick, and now here's Jones. Jones to De Gea. De Gea, he hasn't been called on to make saves as such, but it's just vital anticipation at the right moment. With 2 minutes of added time. Jones heads the ball forward. Mata brings it down. Finds Herrera. Good work by Herrera. Fellaini onto Blint over the halfway line, far side of the field, front of the Sir Alex Ferguson stand. Mata now. Mata to Young, and back to Blint. And our monitor's given up. It's no signal, or is it no signal or bad signal? Either way, we can't see. It's enough to watch the game anyway, I think. Throw in for United, goes to Fellaini, whose header put them 2-1 up. Back with a pass to Blint. Halfway inside the City half, into Fellaini, taken up by Mata. Mata ran into Yaya Toure, ball squirts back off the Ivorian into Fellaini, and Fellaini finds Valencia. 1 minute of added time remaining at the end of the first half. Valencia past Silva, all too easily, crosses high, Fellaini's there, heads it down, Rooney tries to tap it up for Young, didn't get it right, half cleared. Herrera on towards Mata, intercepted by Clichy, and cleared now by Silva to Yaya Toure, and Yaya Toure onto Aguero, who's got a yard start on Jones. Aguero now level with the edge of the United penalty area. Only half a minute of added time remaining at the end of the first half. Aguero stands still now, tackled by Jones, and Jones will have now properly timed to make the clearance for Manchester United. Not the best of clearances. It ran straight to Zabaleta, but United pick up possession again. And now it's with Rooney. Rooney's got a little bit of room. Rooney onto Herrera. Herrera gets away from Fernandinho. Rooney again to Valencia. Could it be going 3-1 to Manchester United? Valencia's cross. Fellaini dives in. Oh, he just barged into Zabaleta. That's clearly a free kick.
Oh, what a game we've got here. It's Fellaini smashes Zabaleta. What a game, end-to-end stuff. First it was City. Oh, brilliant play from Herrera. Herrera and Fellaini have been outstanding in this first half of Manchester United. What a first half of football.
And I think we've had our first half, because as soon as he takes this free kick, Joe Hart, I'm sure, in fact, Mark Clattenburg says that's it. And all I can say is, what a drab game of football, Robbie.
Oh, one of the best halves of football for entertainment I've seen this season. Brilliant stuff. Big question marks. Company could have been a red. Clattenburg booked him, but great start from City. Deserved the goal, but United have been in control ever since.
United 2, City 1.
Thanks, Alan. So let's talk about that big decision then, the yellow card shown to Vincent Kompany. It's one of those, isn't it, Robbie, that will be looked at and looked at and looked at, and I think the general consensus might be that it could have gone either way. You wouldn't have been surprised to see the Manchester City captain walk off to the tunnel before half-time, but likewise, Mark Clattenburg gave himself every opportunity to get it right in his own mind by spending so long discussing it with the assistants over there on the far side.
Well, you know, I think it's a challenge where his studs are shown. He's caught Blint quite high up on the shin. It was excessive force, it was out of control, so you could say he's lucky to get a yellow card, because if you look at all the things that have to go for a challenge like that, they would all tick really the box of possibly a red card.
And just one brief thought as well. I know you talked a lot, Alan, and yourself during the course of the first half about the form of Fellaini and the performance of Fellaini out there. But in a game like this that's being played at 1,000,000 miles per hour and it's so competitive in central midfield, that little touch of class from Herrera, just to buy himself that little bit more time and enable himself to really run things in there for Manchester United.
Yeah, I think him and Fellaini have been outstanding contributors on the pitch. Herrera, the way he just looks around, looks over his shoulder, he's dominating that midfield area. Carrick's not has been as influential as Herrera, and that says a lot about Herrera's performance.
I don't know that Alan got a bit flustered about the monitor towards the end of half-time. You've actually pulled the aerial socket out in your excitement, so we'll get that fixed as well. You get yourself a cup of tea and I'll fix the television and do everything else during half-time. So Manchester United leading 2-1 here. Old Trafford absolutely crackling with atmosphere. A fantastic 45 minutes served up by Manchester United and Manchester City. Jose Mourinho, one of the people you'll hear from during half-time. Before that, let's get the news on 5 Live from Faye Rusco.
On digital, online, smartphone and tablet. This is BBC 5 Live.
David Cameron says only homes worth more than £1 million would fall under inheritance tax under plans unveiled by the Conservatives. Labour's pledged to raise more than £7 billion by clamping down on tax avoidance and evasion, while the Liberal Democrats say they'd impose a mansion tax on properties over £2 million. A 7-year-old boy who died after falling off a cliff during a skiing holiday in the French Alps has been named locally as Colin Scott Howell from near Brecon. It's thought he'd strayed off-piste into woodland after getting lost. A man's body's been found in the boot of a car in Belfast. A man and a woman in their 20s have been arrested. A Kenyan student's been killed and more than 140 wounded in a stampede at the University of Nairobi. Students reacted to an electrical explosion that was mistaken for a terrorist attack. And Hillary Clinton is expected to announce her second attempt to run for the presidency in the next hour. It's 7 years since she lost out on the Democrat nomination to Barack Obama.
This is BBC 5 Live on digital, online, smartphone and tablet.
A look at the roads in the West Midlands. Traffic still very slow on the M6 in both directions around Junction 8 of the M5. It's because of an earlier gas leak this morning. In Setchie in Norfolk, the A10 Lynn Road northbound is blocked between Lynn Road and Setch Road. Police are at the scene. And in Evesham in Worcestershire, the A46 is closed in both directions because of an accident. The A46 in Hinton on the Green, also in Worcestershire, is also blocked for recovery work after an accident. Faye Rusco, 5 Live Travel.
5 Live, where football lives, including the Premier League. Monday night, 8 o'clock kickoff. Liverpool take on Newcastle. The build-up starts in 5 Live Sport from 7. The best live sport is on 5 Live, where football lives.
This is 5 Live Sport
With Darren Fletcher.
Manchester United leading Manchester City 2-1 at half-time in the rain after a pulsating 45 minutes here at Old Trafford. Just one thing that's caught my eye, Mangala's warming up at half-time here. I wonder whether that's got anything to do with Vincent Kompany's lunging challenge just before half-time. But certainly the kind of warm-up process that Mangala's going through at the moment, Robbie, would indicate that this is not a precaution, that he may well be coming on at the start of the second half.
Yeah, well, you can see by his warm-up, Fletch, he will be coming on, but surely you can't take your captain off because he's been booked. You know, if there's one more, he might go off, but surely you've got to trust your captain, leave him on the pitch. So it must be Di Michele.
Just adds to the drama, doesn't it? What's always very dramatic. It's been even more so today. So one shot on target and one goal to show for it, but Chelsea had to wait until the 88th minute before they took the lead against QPR earlier today. Cesc Fabregas scoring after a mistake from goalkeeper Rob Green. It puts Chelsea 7 points ahead of Arsenal, who are second. QPR remain in the bottom 3. And at Loftus Road for 5 Live Sport was Will Perry.
QPR manager Chris Ramsey, falling to his knees in despair, paints the picture at Loftus Road. A stellar atmosphere in the West London derby, frantic, scrappy but fascinating to watch. The neutral would have to feel for them. For 88 minutes, QPR held their own. They pressed Chelsea high up the pitch. Barton exceptional at closing down that dangerous and talented midfield at every opportunity. Cesc Fabregas' late low strike following Rob Green's poor kick was a cruel nail in the coffin. They stayed 2 points behind Hull, with Liverpool, Manchester City and Leicester to play in their run-in. QPR, the better team on the day, had an impressive 15 shots, 4 on target. Chelsea's first on target was the goal, which seals a crucial 3 points for Chelsea. They extend their lead over Arsenal to 7 with a game in hand and a trip to the Emirates to come following matches against Manchester United and Liverpool. So the dogfight continues for QPR with just 4 points separating the bottom 5. But after this result at Loftus Road, does Jose Mourinho think he's got one hand on his 3rd Premier League title?
You know, we need 11 points. It's so simple as that. If I'm not wrong, we need 11 points. So our situation is good. But we have big matches to play. And when I say big matches, I'm not saying Man United or Arsenal or Liverpool. I'm saying everyone is a big match. Leicester will be a big match. West Brom will be a big match. Maybe Sunderland, the last game of the season, will be also a big match for both clubs, who know. So difficult. We need 11 points, but in this moment we are in the countdown. Every point we get, even today, if we get a point, is a point. So in this moment we are in a countdown, and opposite to us, our direct opponents, they need to win every match.
Chelsea's goal came from a shanked clearance from Rob Green. Let's hear what his manager, Chris Ramsey, made of it.
It's a bad kick, and we've had an ample opportunity to defend it properly, and we didn't. So I'm not putting the blame anywhere near him. You know, it's a windy day. He's kicked it It's not like it's hit somebody and he's gone through and scored. We've had a long time to defend that, and we haven't defended it properly. A lapse in concentration means that now we're still below the line, but a point lost, I would say, today.
In all probability, you're still going to be in the shake-up in the last game or two. So, whatever happens now, you can turn it around.
No, we can turn it around, and we believed that we could turn it around. And I think that, if we keep on going and doing what we've been showing, I think that we'll be there right to the end. But one thing for sure, if we don't clear up those soft goals, we won't be giving ourselves the best possible chance.
So QPR beaten by Chelsea earlier today. Cesc Fabregas with the all-important goal. We're looking forward to the second half here in the rain at Old Trafford. Manchester United 2, Manchester City 1. Mangala still going through his half-time warm-up. Just to add a bit of information to that, there is a feeling that Vincent Kompany might well have just tweaked his hamstring when he made that challenge towards the end of the first half that got him the yellow card. We will wait for confirmation of that when the teams emerge for the second half. We don't often get the opportunity, though, to be near to Kelly and Righty before 6:06 on a Sunday, but we are tonight. The team are together at last.
Hello, we've been planning our end-of-season drinks for ages. You just won't get back to us.
Well, we've just not been invited. We've just not been on the email list. What are you two going to talk about tonight, I wonder?
Well, I've got no idea. Probably a little bit of Manchester United against Manchester City. First of all, red card for Vincent Kompany. Do you think it should have been, right?
Yeah, I thought it was a red card. I thought it was a reckless challenge. I thought he was out of control of his body. Studs was showing. And I don't believe he's got a hamstring problem if he is coming off. I don't believe that for a second.
You think that there's for safety if they're going to swap him for Mangala?
I don't know.
They can't take him off for safety. He's a captain, man.
Well, I know they can't take him off for safety, but we don't know. It might be Di Michaelis. But the way Vincent Kompany was walking off, Rob, it didn't look like anything to do with his hamstring there. He was walking off. He's striding off.
We'll have a chat about that. There'll be lots of fans wanting to get their say on whether or not Kompany should have been sent off. If they do make the substitution, there'll be plenty of opinion on that as well. Just one shot on target earlier for Chelsea to get past QPR. So disappointing for Queen's Park Rangers, but should they feel positive about the performance, Righty?
Yeah, they should. And I think that when you consider what Hull and Sunderland are doing at the minute, if QPR can continue doing what they're doing and nick a couple of goals, then you could see that I think that they will get themselves safe, because I'm looking at Hull and I'm looking at Sunderland and I can't see the light of day for them.
Chelsea, though, you were saying you can't remember the last time you saw them play well. Does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter at this stage, because I think it's about picking up results, and Chelsea are doing that. They're doing that, and they're doing it very well. That's a sign of champions.
So Rangers fans, have you got as much faith in your team as Righty does? Chelsea fans, how big was that win? Because there were huge celebrations from the Chelsea players at the final whistle. Also, Hull fans, if Righty thinks that QPR got a chance of being safe at the end of the season, there's a chance that you could be taking their place in the bottom three. You've still got to play 4 of the top 7 in your last 6 games. Does the championship beckon for Hull City? We want to know as well who your manager of the year is. We'll get Righties in the programme following the Manchester derby. And remember, you can ask Righty anything. Get your questions in on the hashtag AskRighty. Lines are open 0500 909 693. And guys, if you want your invitation to the drinks at the end of the season, that's the number to get us on.
I'll tell you something. We don't get that kind of time on a Saturday to start our show. I'll tell you what, we've been generous with you there.
Cheers,
love it.
Mate.
Looking forward to listening to it on the way home.
To be fair, Kel, our lines are usually full, though. We can't get through.
That was the comeback
People
we wanted,
wanted to cane
wasn't
him.
it?
That's what it is. People wanted to cane Robbie.
You'll get us home tonight. 0500 909 693 606 on a Sunday. Always a fantastic listen with
brilliant.
Kelly and Righty. Now, Exeter Chiefs completed a double over Premiership leaders Northampton with a 21-10 win at Sandy Park earlier today. Sonia McLaughlin was at the game.
Yes, and Northampton's demise in Europe was put down to an off day in the face of sheer brilliance from Claremont. A week later, Jim Mallander's side were humbled again. Exeter, deservedly, as you say, becoming the first side in the league this season to beat the champions home and away. Saints saw yellow 3 times. Clark, Myler and Waller all sent to the sin bin. They did score 2 tries, but this was Exeter's day. Fullback Phil Dolman stood out, scoring one of their 2 tries, and flanker Dave Ewers was heroic defensively. Exeter move above Leicester into 4th and a spot in the playoffs. So the question for coach Rob Baxter, with 3 games to go, can they stay there?
if we turn up like we did today every single week, I'd be very confident. So that's the battle, isn't it? The battle is for us to turn up as we did today, get ourselves mentally and physically in the right place to turn up and perform like that. Now, if that performance today has been on the back of players who are absolutely desperate to be in the top 4, then absolutely fantastic. If it was because we just fancy going out there and running around in the sun and having a great game, then things can change. So I'll wait to see how we shape up in the next couple of weeks. But at the moment, we're in 4th place. I'm just going to enjoy being here.
What does it say about a club that's only been in the Premiership for 5 years that here you are with a chance of contending for the title?
I think along the way, probably the thing that's identified our progress more than anything else is how well we've dealt with losing. Because we've dealt with plenty of losses on the way, and they've never been deciding factors for us. They've never been buffers or big stoppers in our progress. We've tended to bounce over them very well, like more like little speed bumps than anything, and learn from them very well. And I think all we are now is we're just a maturing side that's learning from experience, and we as coaches are learning from the more exposure we have in the Premiership, and the players are doing the same.
Enjoy the beer.
Anyway, thank you very much.
That's Rob Baxter with a cold beer, and deservedly so. His side single-handedly the counter-argument to those who want to ring-fence the Premiership. Elsewhere in the Aviva Premiership today, Wasps stay 6th in a European qualification spot after winning 40 points to 13 at London Welsh. Sale, though, now 5 points behind Wasps in 7th after losing 25-23 at London Irish.
Thanks, Sonia. It might well be a cold beer for Rob Baxter. It's a warm cup of coffee at half-time in this chilly day here at Old Trafford, but the football certainly warmed us in the first half. 2 unsurprising bits of news from the Chinese Grand Prix earlier today. Hamilton won it, and he's fallen out with his teammate Nico Rosberg, who came second. Rosberg felt Hamilton backed him up so that he was forced to race with Sebastian Vettel, which subsequently ruined his tyres. In cricket, by the way, Kevin Peterson has scored 170 today, hasn't he, Kevin Howells?
And no doubt the headline grabber here, Darren. Yes, it must be said it's a university side he scored those runs against, of course, but it's his return to Surrey. That England recall, maybe not so much a step as a deliberate stumble closer. It's 170 at the Parks, came off 149 deliveries, no doubt entertaining to watch. 24 fours and 2 sixes. The next proper game for him, though, will be the Division 2 match he plays for Surrey against Glamorgan next Sunday, that in Cardiff. Just one score from elsewhere, the game I'm watching, because Moeen Ali has made 62 here for Worcestershire, as England debate whether or not to add Ali to the Test squad currently out in the West Indies. They'll also check his bowling before the end of this game, whether or not he will go to the Caribbean this week. But Worcestershire in this opening day of the season are now 228 for 7. The star of the show, 21-year-old Tom Fell, scoring his maiden First Division Championship century. He is now out for 114.
John Degenkolb won the Paris-Roubaix Classic cycle race after a sprint finish. Luke Rowe was the first Briton home, claiming 8th place, 28 seconds down, with Sir Bradley Wiggins in a small group just behind. The two teams have emerged for the second half, and Alan Green, there's no Vincent Kompany for Manchester City.
No, and we don't know whether it's a resumption of the hamstring injury, or whether it might be the manager thinking one more tackle and he's off. Either way, Mangala has replaced the City captain, so this is their revised lineup for the visitors. The goalkeeper's Hart, defence now Zabaleta, Dimichelis, Mangala and Clichy, then Fernandinho and Yaya Toure, then Milner, Silva and Navas, and finally Aguero. Aguero's goal put City in front after 8 minutes. United are as they were as they started the game. Goalkeeper De Gea, defensive Valencia, Jones, Smalling and Blint. Then we got Carrick, then we got Mata, Herrera, Fellaini, Young and Rooney. Young equalised, Fellaini headed United in front. Second half is underway. Manchester City all in their sky blue against Manchester United's red shirts, white shorts and black socks. United attacking the Stretford end in the second half. That's the end to our left. That's the end they love to attack in the second half of game. Here's Fellaini, who was an immense presence for the home side in the first half. The ball goes to the far side in Valencia, onto Mata. Valencia again. City were really good for 10 minutes. And you thought they had control of the game, they got the lead, but United came back really strongly, Robbie.
Yeah, they did, and what an opportunity now to go and enhance their 2 goals that Mangala's on. It's got to be a hamstring injury, and I can't see Pellegrini taking his captain off because he's been, but you've got to trust your captain. I would say it would be a reoccurrence of the hamstring injury, surely.
remember earlier today, it finished Queen's Park Rangers 0, Chelsea 1. So Chelsea have got 73 points. That's 11 ahead of Manchester United, 12 ahead of Manchester City, and they've got a game in hand. City are on the attack now in front of their own fans. Navas crosses very deep. It falls to Silva inside the penalty area. Milner was there as well. Aguero then taps it back to Yaya Toure. Carrick gets there first. Carrick to Rooney. Rooney on to Herrera. Herrera's being tracked back by Fernandinho, and it's back now with De Michelis.
So that was Navas' first decent ball into the box when he's actually picked somebody out. Went to Silva. Silva just didn't quite expect it. His first touch, unusually for Silva, was not great. And there was just a little muddle in the box, and it was eventually clear. But then it come to Carrick, great little body swerve on Toure. But Navas' first decent ball into the box.
De Michelis to Aguero. Aguero's first touch wasn't great, and then he collided with Herrera, and then Fellaini fouls Fernandinho. Free kick to Manchester City. Fellaini just won't retreat. Mangala takes the free kick to Milner. Back to Mangala. Yaya Toure rather. Now it's with Mangala. Mangala on the far side of the field. That's the City left to Clichy. And Clichy looking for Aguero. It's intercepted that pass by Valencia. And Valencia into Michael Carrick. Man on, shout the United fans. That was because Milner was hustling Michael Carrick, and Carrick had all the nous necessary to keep it for United. Jones on the halfway line. That's a good ball to the left side. And Blint up from fullback. Blink crosses low. Rooney's first touch was good, but he lost possession with his second touch, and now it's with Navas. Navas on to Milner. Milner's down the right side for the moment. On towards Navas. Under hit. Carrick was aware of the danger anyway, and Navas trying to take the ball off Michael Carrick, fouls him, and it's a free kick to Manchester United.
Yeah, Carrick there, seeing the danger, seeing the run of Navas. Blint was forward, but great covering from the defensive midfielder. He should have done that for the goal, nevertheless. He didn't see the run of Silva, but redeemed himself there with a fantastic recovery run. United lead 2-1, having trailed initially to Aguero's strike. Mangala, the substitute, to Clichy. In now to Fernandinho and on to De Michelis. De Michelis moves over the halfway line into the United half. He wants support. He finds it from Zabaleta. That's a poor pass by Navas. And then De Michelis makes the tackle, and the ball's out of play again, throw into Manchester United. Three substitutes for Manchester City, warming up there. Nasri, Dzeko and Lampard. When will Pellegrini make a change? I know he's made one enforced change already, but an attacking change. Well, I think he'd like to inject something of an attacking mode into Yaya Toure. He's not done enough so far in the game. Not remotely enough. Free kick to Manchester United. It's been a sort of scrappy start to the second half, certainly in comparison to all the excitement we had in the first 45 minutes. Bit stop-start. Here's Blint. Back to Jones. Jones now moves towards the halfway line and finds Fellaini. Fellaini to Young. Back to Fellaini. Good play. Fellaini tries to cross early to Rooney. It hits Yaya Toure. And here's, I thought the clearance was going to come in. Oh goodness, it's an aggressive challenge to say the least on Ashley Young, but the referee saw nothing wrong with it, and the ball is squirted behind for a goal kick. Yeah, yes, Yaya Toure, Fellaini again, very close proximity to each other. Yaya Toure trapped Fellaini, won the ball back, went to De Michelis, and then Young. De Michelis dived in a Young, but goal kick for Manchester City. Joe Hart in front of the Stretford end takes this goal kick. 5 minutes gone in the second half. United 2, City 1. You're listening to 5 Live in the World Service on the BBC. The lines are open for 606 with Ian Wright and Kelly Cates. 0500 909 693. And then after the phone in, don't forget the climax on the 4th day of the Masters on 5 Live. Here's Mata in the centre circle. Back to Jones. And Jones' pass was slightly under hit. Yaya Toure knocked it away temporarily, but collected by Mata. Mata to Jones once more, and to Carrick, and Carrick just steps away from Milner. Forward goes the pass to Rooney. Rooney dived. That was certainly the conclusion drawn by the referee, Mark Clattenburg. Play resumed. That wasn't a dive, that was a foul tackle on Mata. Rooney's still complaining about the earlier challenge, but
Is this going to be another yellow card? I actually didn't think Rooney had anything to complain about.
Well, it was, he's let the ball run across his body. I think Mangala did come in the back of Rooney there with a strong challenge. The referee didn't give it, and then it's, there was Mata with a run. I think it was Silva who actually brought him down, or was it Navas? But a great opportunity now for Rooney, 30 yards out, great position.
The referee is Mark Clattenburg. So the free kick, 30 yards from goal with this angle. Rooney is going to take it, and Joe Hart crouched a yard in front of his goal line. Rooney sweeps it in. Oh, and goodness, made a mess of it. Hart. Young is there. Young crosses low. Ball breaks. Carrick shoots. Blocked on the line. Still there, the danger. Herrera's in there. Herrera then falls over. Not a foul. That might have been a foul on the City defender, but it's cleared by Manchester City. Moment of drama here at Old Trafford. Milner gets the ball back to Yaya Toure. On it comes to Navas, near side of the field. Blind's foot was very high. Free kick.
Oh, what a scrap there!
He's giving it the other way.
You've got to say,
handball.
Joe Hart made a mess of the free kick. Did he recover the save from Carrick, or did it hit Fellaini on the line? Did he block the own shot?
There were so many bodies, I couldn't be sure.
It must. Is it Joe Hart? The first and foremost, he's made a mess of the save. It falls to Carrick on the edge of the box. The question is, did it hit Carrick or Fellaini? No, it's a good save from Joe Hart. Great pressure from United.
And that ramps up the tension again around Old Trafford. 76,000 or thereabouts watching on. United 2, City 1. Rooney slips. There's a clearance. Who's down there? What's going on here? Dimichelis. What is going on? There's a claim that an elbow has been used. If it was, I didn't see it. Really not sure. Yaya Toure is being called across by Mark Clattenburg. Maybe he's the acting captain, of course, in the absence of company. I'm confused there.
Yeah, I think it's the initial ball up to Fellaini, who's challenged Di Michelis, and what Di Michelis obviously claimed, he's been hit in the face by is it an arm or an elbow from Fellaini? I just think Fellaini won a header. Di Michelis reacts. It's all got very heated.
What do you stand in this? I mean, Fellaini, when he does go up, he usually has his arms wide of his body, let's say. There's not necessarily any evil intent. He caught him with his left arm, but I'm not sure how deliberate that was.
He's got his eyes on the ball all the time. He's used his arms for leverage. He's caught Di Michelis in the face, but it's not
a bounce ball.
Yeah, it's not an intentional elbow whatsoever.
So bounce ball, and City knock it back into United's possession. Well, you're bound to get moments like that in a derby of this heat and intensity. United lead City 2-1. City trying to respond. Aguero loses the ball to Herrera, who very quietly has had an excellent game. He finds Jones. Back it goes to De Gea. Carefully out by the goalkeeper to Jones again. And Jones moves forward into the space in front of him towards the halfway line. Taps the pass to the left to Blint. Blint into Carrick. As typical of Michael Carrick, just running into space, made himself available. His pass finds Young on towards Fellaini. Blint picks it up, looking for Young. Half cleared by Manchester City. Blint brings it down under control again. Passes back to Jones, and Jones hits it towards Mata. Important header away by Clichy. Here's Fellaini, chests it down, edge of the penalty area. Back to Herrera. Onto Valencia on the far side of the field. 10 minutes gone in the second half. 2-1 United lead. Herrera to Mata. In towards Valencia, but behind Valencia, and City have it again. That's a good ball to the far side. And Silva. Milner and Aguero in attacking positions. Silva down the City left. Halfway inside the United half now. Down to walking pace for the moment. Leaves it to Milner. The pass is under hit. Valencia got in a tackle and it's out of play for a throw-in.
Yeah, Silva's waving his arms at Aguero. Aguero's waving his hands at Silva. Not a happy camp, Manchester City, in the second half.
Well, if they lose here, City, they'll be 12 points behind Chelsea, having played a game more. It's only a matter of weeks since it was either Chelsea or City for the title. It ain't that. No, Chelsea can't lose from the position they're in, surely. Arsene Wenger's right not to be drawn in to talk about the title. Chelsea loving supporters, not sitting that far away from me, winces as I say that, but Chelsea are safe. Here's Yaya Toure over the halfway line. Plays it to Dimichelis. And on now to Zabaleta. Zabaleta to Navas. City, you think, have to get something out of this game. Navas on the halfway line again. And the pass back to Joe Hart. There wasn't really an option for him. Hart out to Mangala. Back to Hart. Hart almost slipped there. The rain is eased somewhat, but it's still very slippery, this surface at Old Trafford. Now there's a foul by Fellaini on Fernandinho, and it's a free kick to Manchester City inside the centre circle.
Yeah, Cliché and Zabaleta, the full-backs of Manchester City, have been quiet. They've not been able to get forward because basically City haven't had that great possession of the ball. I haven't seen the possession stats, and sometimes they surprise you, but...
Fernandinho almost lost it, worked hard to win it back. And now Yaya Toure from Silva's pass. Yaya Toure with Zabaleta to his right. And further forward in this touchline, we've got Navas, but Zabaleta moves infield, finds Fernandinho. Now it's with Silva. Aguero poised to make a run. The pass, or the ball, still in City's possession. And here's Yaya Toure. Good work by Milner. On it goes to Silva, edge of the penalty area. Yaya Toure's shot. Oh goodness, that hit a United player initially. It was Smalling. Then it rebounded onto Herrera. Might have struck his arm, certainly not intentionally. And now it's with Smalling, who can clear properly for Manchester United.
Yeah.
We played 13 minutes in the second half. United 2, City 1.
First bit of good play around the area from Manchester City there. It's not a handball from Herrera, but it was Yaya Toure, little 1-2s, little triangles. Much better play there for Manchester City.
I do like to see Yaya Toure in a more forward position, but can he really afford to sacrifice the work of Milner and the work of Silva just to accommodate Toure there? I don't know. That's good work by Manchester United, really. On to Valencia in the far side of the field. Valencia down the right, to the right of the penalty area. Passes back to Mata. Mata steps to his right, then to his left. Passes back to Carrick. United with lots of red shirts in attacking positions. Carrick. Good ball forward. Valencia inside right channel. Wide to Mata again. Mata's cross. Here's Young with a header down. Oh, what a limp header. He might have been offside anyway, but it wasn't troublesome for Joe Hart at all.
Yeah, he would have been offside, Young, but even still, the header, he must have thought Joe Hart was going to come out and clatter him. He didn't, and his header, it didn't. It was irrelevant.
Kind when I say it was limp.
Yeah, it was offside anyway. So, but great play, great ball into the box from Mata.
Here's Jones. Jones forward into the centre circle, finds Herrera. Hasn't he played well today, Herrera again?
Him and Fellaini have been the two best players on the pitch.
Then it's one back by Clichy for City. Yaya Toure to Aguero. Aguero just get the ball away from Herrera. Aguero onto Navas into the penalty area. The low cross aimed at Silva but under hit. Smalling puts it behind for a corner.
I think Smalling's been exceptional defensively today for Manchester United. He's been the rock back there. But Navas again gets in a great position behind the back four. But what does he do? He hits Smalling. Yeah, you could argue that's good positional play from Smalling, but he's got to whip it with pace. Silva's unmarked. Poor ball again from Navas.
2/3 of the way through the game. Half an hour to go. Corner to Manchester City, who trail 2-1. Navas from the right, deep, straight onto the forehead of Phil Jones. Good header away, the penalty area too. Zabaleta from Manchester City. Glides it towards Navas. Blint, not quite sure where Navas was, he was behind him. And you find Blint, you find Jones with a header and he puts it out of play for a throw into City. Just quietly, City beginning to dominate, just quietly.
Yeah, but you just want better quality from Navas. You can be fast, you can get behind your full, but if you can't find the man in the box, what's the point?
Zabaleta's throw-in to Milner. And rebounds out of play off a United body for another throw into City. Zabaleta throws to Fernandinho, swept on to Clichy in a central position inside the United half. The chip pass aimed at Yaya Toure. Important header away by Jones and volley clearance by Blint. City have the ball again. And Nasri's coming on very shortly. Milner, foul tackle, good advantage played by the referee. Silva's the ball. Mark Clattenburg looked at Silva. Silva was in possession, but he thought, no, the advantage wasn't good enough. and said he would probably prefer the free kick.
I can't believe Jones has got away with that. He's clattered Milner from behind. Has to be a yellow card. He's shown, I think, 2 or 3 City players yellow card. Jones comes in, he clatters Milner. How is that not a yellow card? I do not know. He hasn't even spoken to Jones.
It's 3 yellow cards for Manchester City, none for Manchester United. Milner still reeling from the tackle. Who's Nasri going to replace? Navas?
You think now?
I don't know.
It could be, you know.
I still think they need the work rate of Milner if he regains fitness here. But that's a surprise that Mark Clattenburg didn't book Jones. What do you think on reflection about the company challenge towards the end of the first half?
Well, you know, Righty on 606, thinks it's a red. You know, it's borderline. If he'd have given a red, I don't think you'd have complained. But it was very similar to the Myler challenge that he got sent off at Swansea to.
Yes.
You know, a bit over the ball. So on reflection, that could have been a red very, very easily.
All right. Well, Nasri's going to come on before this free kick is taken. The fourth official is not very kindly holding the board in a way that we cannot see. Side on to us. So who's coming off? It's Milner. Well, Nasri can be brilliant. He can be anonymous. He's not going to take this free kick, but he's having a word with Silva, and maybe that's to pass on an instruction from Pellegrini. Silva takes the free kick, left-footed, deep. Demichelis heads it down towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and there's Fellaini to clear on the volley towards the far side of the field. Nasri's first involvement, being hustled by Rooney, gets there before the United captain and plays it back to Clichy.
They like that little free kick where they try and ping the ball to Demichelis on the back post, and you know, he's done that. He's won a few headers, but what a great positional play from Fellaini. The advantage of Fellaini in both areas. He does what Drogba used to do for Chelsea in both areas. Great at one end, attacking defensively, gets himself in good positions, clears the danger.
Ball is back with Joe Hart. Olin Green away to our left. Still hasn't hit the ball forward. Now he does. Directed straight onto Chris Smalling's forehead. He only finds Fernandinho, but Fernandinho's pass runs straight to Michael Carrick.
Yeah, Silva's just gone into behind Aguero with Nasri on that left hand side now, so it's Silva going to support Aguero, and I think that's Silva's best position, you know, where he can affect the game better.
The more he's involved, the more hope Manchester City have. Fellaini hits the ball forward straight to Demichelis. He hits it straight to Smalling, and Smalling to Valencia on the far side of the field. 19 minutes gone in the second half. You're listening to 5 Live on the BBC with World Service. Now Mata to Herrera, back towards Mata. The pass back from the defender Clichy to Hart, and Hart clears it upfield. And then Silva only controls it to the degree of passing it to Carrick. Carrick's ball to the left side. Kept in play initially, I thought. Oh, it's a goal kick. It's going to be a goal kick to Manchester City.
Yeah, it's one of the rare times Carrick's give the ball away today. But again, end-to-end stuff, great. You know, great spectacle for Premier League football. Yeah, the Premier League's been knocked this year, but in today's game, you know, this will be going around the world. It's been great action.
United 2, City 1. United's next game is away to Chelsea next Saturday evening. We've got 25 minutes left here at Old Trafford. The Stretford end in unison, applauding, every one of them. Sellout crowd, of course. Mata, high to Fellaini, who's beaten by Mangala. Mangala then hooks the ball into the United half. It's bouncing finely down for Jones, who finds Blint. Blint under pressure from Navas. And, Zabaleta hits the ball out of play and immediately puts his arm up saying it's my throw-in. Grow up. Oh, so dishonest. Every player on every team does it, but why? Here's Jones. Jones, 10 yards short of the halfway line. That's not a good ball forward. Joe Hart says that's mine, comes out of his penalty area to meet it before Rooney can get there, and then the England goalkeeper hits it outfield. Carrick's header to Herrera, who's holding off Fernandinho well, finds Mata, and now Carrick. Mata again, back to Smalling, who wasn't quite anticipating the pass, but now it's with Jones onto Blint, and Blint looking to Fellaini. Demichelis got there first, but United have the ball again. Rooney to Mata. Mata into the penalty. This could be 3-1. Mata shoots low into the far corner, and Manchester United have control of the 152nd League Derby. United 3, City 1, Mata.
Man City back four absolutely all over the place. Di Michelis and Mangala. The gap between the pair of them so big. The ball into Rooney. Mangala didn't know whether to go tight or drop. He done nothing. Mata run off. I don't know who he run off. Great run, great way to pass from Rooney. One-on-one with Joe Hart. Exactly how Navas was against the game in the first half. But what Mata done, he finished it. He put it in between Joe Hart's leg. Great finish. But the back four of Manchester City all over the place. Defensively so poor. 3-1. Fantastic Derby Day performance from United.
I think City had the best defensive record last season. What has happened? What is going on? United lead by 3 goals to 1 with a quarter of the game to go. They kick off again. Yaya Toure back to Clichy for Manchester City. Well, Manchester United are looking for a fourth goal now. Rooney, Mangala is there first. Mangala just about coaches the ball back to Joe Hart, and Hart clears it towards the near side of the field, where it bounces beyond both Blint and Navas and is out for a throw into Manchester United.
United have been far superior in every single position on the football pitch. What a dominant display from the Louis van Gaal's team. This City team needs a rebuild at the end of the season, no question. They've been battered today by United.
Here's Valencia as United search for 6 successive victories. Not in the derby, but the derby will be part of it. Manchester City clear toward the halfway line. Any sign of a further change from Pellegrini? Fellaini. There was a foul there on Jones. Play continues. It's on from Blint to Young. Young left of the penalty area. Creates room for the cross, but it's cleared by Di Michelis behind for a corner.
I'll tell you what, this United team will want to do now, and the fans, they want to go and get 4 and 5. And against the defensively Manchester City, there's a possibility they can do that. They have been brilliant.
What was that quote from Pellegrini? He said in 2015, City have chucked their season into the garbage. That's been confirmed today at Old Trafford. Mata with a corner, Stretford end, from the left, deep, looking for Rooney, headed away by Manchester City. Aguero does well, holding off Valencia. Valencia gets in another challenge. The ball's out of play. It's going to be a throw into City.
You've got to say for the third goal, the intelligence of Wayne Rooney.
Actually a free kick, sorry.
You know, the intelligence of Wayne Rooney to, hold off Mangala, turn, and then the way of the pass, perfectly timed pass to Mata, who Mata's been brilliant again. This United team with a couple of additions next season are real title contenders.
Di Michelis to Zavaleta, a yard in from the right touch line. Back to Di Michelis. City sluggish again. There is a ball aimed at Aguero, tracked by Valencia. Valencia heads it away to Herrera, and Mata finds Carrick. Carrick now, 20 yards short of the halfway line, 20 minutes to go. Manchester United 3, Manchester City 1. Think back to that jibe from Sir Alex Ferguson about the noisy neighbours. Well, over the last couple of years, City have threatened to be the dominant force in Manchester. This is perhaps evidence that United are back again. Blint with a throw to Fellaini, who takes it on his chest, goes to the corner flag. Stretford end, and he's won a throw-in, which he takes himself. Back to Young. Young crosses to the right, from left to right, and finds Valencia. Onto the excellent Mata. Do you remember how Mata was, a sort of nothing person under Louis van Gaal? Now he's got to be one of the first names in the team sheet, like Herrera. Ball played forward by Blint. The intention was right, not quite the delivery. It ran away from Ashley Young through to Joe Hart.
The songs you're getting sacked in the mornings ringing round Old Trafford about Pellegrini. I wouldn't say he's going to get sacked in the morning, but big question marks. Yeah, it's not been acceptable this season for Manchester City.
Yeah. By the way, is Yaya Toure still playing right now? He's still on the pitch, is he? Because I have hardly noticed him. That's not good enough from a player of his stature. Not good enough.
It's not, but you could say that not just about Yaya Toure, I think with the exception of Aguero, really.
I think Silva's played well too. But, certainly Yaya Toure, you would expect a lot more from him.
I'm not sure what Silva's done actually in the game. I don't think he's had an influence like he should. It's maybe a bit unfair just to criticise Yaya Toure. I don't think he's been good enough, but you could say that about the majority of City's team.
I think it's what you expect from certain players. And you think of the incredible contribution he made last season, and he's not really been at the races this time. Silva was guilty there of a harsh challenge, let's say. Carrick onto Fellaini, another excellent player for Manchester United this afternoon at Old Trafford. And now Young to Blind. 18 minutes to go. 3-1. Scope for humiliation if United find further goals. That's humiliation for City. Now there's a free kick. Foul by Fernandinho on Ashley Young.
Yeah, I think we'll see Frank Lampard. Brian Kidd's out of the technical area. He's shouting at Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard's running back to the technical area to get stripped, and he's going to be coming on Frank Lampard.
Well, but I'm not sure to what end at this stage. 3-1 down.
You've got to say, who will he bring off? Will he bring Yaya Toure off? Fernandinho, if you want to go and get back in the game.
Mata runs over the free kick, taken by Young, towards the far post, headed down into the net by Chris Smalling. 4-1. It's now emphatic in United's favour.
They could go and get 5 and 6 now. It's defensive. Look at the body language from them City players there. Heads down, strolling back. They are getting annihilated from this dominant Manchester United team. It's Smalling who's been brilliant today, unmarked, 6 yards out. Joe Hart is screaming at his defence. Free header, 4-1.
And Rocco is going to come on for Manchester United, perhaps even before Frank Lampard comes on. I mean, where was the marking?
Well,
where on earth was the marking?
It's Mangala who's coming on after. He's played everybody on side there. £32 million. What are we seeing here from this Manchester City defence all over the place?
The question of an offside there from the free kick, but anyway, don't want to take too much away. Navas comes off, Lampard goes on. There seem to be one or two United players arguably in offside positions as Young took the free kick. Anyway, so there's a change for City. Lampard on, Rocco's coming on for Manchester United any minute now. 16 minutes to go. Aguero is offside and it's a free kick.
Yeah. I think Mangala's, I've not seen the replay, I think Mangala was playing everybody on side.
Was
he? He's dropped too deep there. What's the atmosphere here, Alan? Unbelievable.
It's Jones who's going to make way for Rocco. When I saw Mangala early in the season, I thought, how much have they paid? How much have they paid? I mean, it just seemed a ridiculous amount of money. From a club that actually just got too much money to spend.
I think
they're not buying quality.
I think this game now has become pivotal. I think now you can see the difference. One team going one way, one team going the other way. City need to rebuild in the summer. They need to start buying, younger players, with a chance to develop, because they're miles of today's performance. Miles behind this Manchester United team.
Yeah, well, many City fans heading for the exits, fearing what might happen in the remaining quarter of an hour here on 5 Live of the World Service. Manchester United 4, Manchester City 1. I was here for the 6-1 that City inflicted on Manchester United a couple of seasons ago. It could be the reverse scoreline today. And United will be bearing that scoreline in mind. Will want revenge for it. Rooney back to Valencia and on to Mata. 606 lines are open. 0500 909 693 for Ian Wright and Kelly Cates to talk you through what's going on here this afternoon, and not just here, remember, also the Chelsea victory. Well, their only shot on target, what does that matter? They won 1-0 at Queen's Park Rangers. They're 7 points clear of Arsenal tonight, and they're still going to be 8 points clear of Manchester United. That's too big a margin for either Arsenal or Manchester United to overcome, and City are out of the race completely. Here's Mata, back to Smalling, and Smalling finds goalkeeper De Gea. De Gea, I don't know why, I looked away from the Stretford end when that latest goal went in, and I saw De Gea, who was frantically celebrating at this end. City on the attack. Aguero tackled by Valencia fairly, and the ball is back with the United goalkeeper once more. They're just rocking Manchester City. They're rocking. And where are the leaders? Here's Mata. It's picked up by Silva to De Michelis. And this run of Manchester City victories in the derby is concluding here at Old Trafford. Rocco to Herrera, and back to Smalling, and Smalling to Fellaini. Good work by the Belgian again, finding Mata on the far side of the field. On to Rooney. I suppose the only thing absent from a Manchester United perspective is a Rooney goal. Herrera on the halfway line to Valencia, 12 minutes to go, and now Smalling, and United just very comfortable in possession now. On to Herrera. Hustle, the ball goes out of play, and it's going to be a throw into Manchester City.
Yeah, you've got to say the players have just, since that Spurs performance, they've all grown in confidence. Look at there, Smalling, he's getting the ball, he's chipping it 10 yards over somebody's head into somebody's feet. They all look just far different.
Long ball looking for Nasri. It bounced towards the D of the United penalty area. Up jumped De Gea and caught it. And he finds Blint quickly, the left full-back, into carry. Always available. He just, moves a few yards in either direction to make sure he's an obvious target for a pass.
And then he passes it forward, though, and that's the big thing. He always wants to go forward.
Here he is again.
Forward.
From Herrera's pass, and he finds Rocco. Rocco to Blint. On to Young. It's hard to think that there's a United player who hasn't played really well today. I think they've all played well. De Gea's not had a great deal to do.
And who'd have thought it that in a minute we're going to see the most expensive player in Britain, Di Maria, come on. That's the quality now Van Gaal has built in his squad.
Well, how is Di Maria going to get into the side the way they're playing at the moment? And what about Robin van Persie? He argued that he was fit earlier this week. Well, Van Gaal knocked that on the head very quickly. Said he wouldn't be starting this game, and he wasn't on the bench either. And it's hard to think that Van Persie will be playing for Manchester United next season. We'll see. Hart clears the ball upfield for City, just over the halfway line. Aguero leaning on Rocco. Rocco wins out. Too much body strength there, the Chilean. And now it's with Valencia, and he wafts the ball in the direction of Mata. Clichy heads it away, finds Fernandinho. Clichy again, De Silva, on to Clichy. Good work by Valencia. Running back, he's the face, gets to the ball first, passes to Smalling, back to De Gea, and cleared upfield. And then De Michelis ran into the back of Fellaini, and it's going to be a free kick.
Yeah, that's one.
And here's Di Maria coming on.
That's one for the arm earlier, but Mata's coming off here. Standing ovation, wonderful performance, wonderful goal.
Yeah, I'm tempted to stand myself. If there was any room in the Manchester United press box, I would stand to applaud Juan Mata. Brilliant. What a good game he's had. Good game. I'm really pleased that a player of his fantastic technical ability is now being properly appreciated by the manager at Old Trafford, because I thought he was just going to be forgotten about, and he's too good for that. Well done, Juan Mata. So Di Maria takes Mata's place on the far side of the field. That's the United right in the remaining minutes, and we've got about 10 plus added time. Manchester United 4, Manchester City 1. And here's Di Maria, almost caught in possession as the ball reaches him for the first time. Valencia then wins a throw-in off Silva. Throw-in just over the halfway line to Manchester United. By the way, do you know the fish and chip shop that Van Gaal took his wife to? It's the one in Alderley Edge. I can't name the name, but you should know the chippy. It's excellent. Oh, what a great volley by Aguero. I thought that was going to dip in time to really trouble De Gea. It went over the crossbar instead.
Yeah, it was just there. You know, it was there for Aguero to hit. Let him come across him, let it drop. You know, just didn't get a correct contact on it. But I think Aguero's tried his best today, to be fair. Got a goal, worked hard. You know, probably City's best player.
It's in Alderley Edge, the south end of the village. Very good. I won't name names, I'm not advertising. Here's Valencia. Valencia to Herrera. Herrera sweeps it on. Great ball to Di Maria. Rooney, Fellaini and Young all available. Di Maria up to the penalty area, into it. Still going. Wastefully shoots when he had colleagues to cross the ball to. Falcao will be coming on for Manchester United shortly. Now, here's Young. Back to Carrick. And they're strolling through the conclusion of this game, Manchester United. Di Maria looking for Valencia, finds Valencia. Rooney's available, Valencia's offside.
Yeah, great run from Valencia, great ball from Di Maria. But we're going to see now Falcao come on.
It's more calls for applause. It's Fellaini who's coming off. And I'm sure that allowed the crowd to pay tribute to the Belgians.
Just listen to them applause. I think him and it's an argument who's the best player, him, Fellaini or Herrera for man of the match.
So Falcao gets 8 minutes worth or thereabouts. He can certainly afford fish and chips, Falcao.
Look at the squad though, Alan. Falcao and Di Maria just come
on the bench, and Van Persie's, not needed at all at the moment. There's a foul by Herrera and a free kick taken quickly by City, wasted by City. Ball through to De Gea. 7 minutes to go on 5 Live in the World Service. Manchester United 4, Manchester City 1.
You've got to say, other than the first 10 minutes where they had the right goal, Manchester City took the lead, they have been battered.
Yep. Yeah. Battered. That's a good word in the context. Battered. Here's Carrick to Falcao, and Falcao gets it back to Rocco. On it goes to Young. A lovely flick by Young. Ball breaks to Di Maria. Edge of the penalty. Too slow. Di Michelis took it off him. And City managed to clear the danger. It's with Silva. Silva drives it from left to right, hoping to find Aguero. He found Blint instead, and Young held off a foul challenge by Nasri. Manchester United in possession once more. Some people going for the exits. I mean, they're obviously worried about the traffic that follows another sellout crowd at Old Trafford. It can be very bad, but you wouldn't want to miss the end of this game, surely. Di Maria running down the right side. Mangala gets in a challenge, puts it out of play for a throw-in. Level with the edge of the Manchester City penalty area. In the first 10 minutes, Robbie, I really thought, City back on form and in control of the game. And then the United equalised and everything turned.
They dominate the opening period, City. Great play, one-touch passing. Navas one-on-one situation with De Gea, he saved it. They got the goal. But since then, United have just overtook in the midfield area. Herrera, Fellaini, Carrick couldn't cope with any of them. Been absolutely brilliant. I thought Smalling, Roy Hodgson was here today. He'll be very impressed with Smalling's performance.
Here's Rocco to Rooney, who's dropped deeper, obviously, with the introduction of Falcao. And back it goes to De Gea. Final 5 minutes of the game. 0500 909 693, the number for 606 with Ian Wright and Kelly Cates. Rocco to Carrick. Carrick on to Blint. Blint loves to attack from that full-back position. He's running forward, the ball might break for him. Nasri really should have challenged for it. He does challenge now, and it's with Zabaleta. And Zabaleta tries to clear, and typical of Blint, he blocks the clearance.
But look at that though, he's run 50 yards with the ball, he's evaded 2 City challenges, pathetic challenges, and then he wins the ball. The recovery run, he gets back, wins the ball. It's the difference in United without the ball compared to City is ridiculous. These City players without the ball, very, very poor.
Di Michelis Clears the ball to the halfway line. Smalling brings it under control. Taps the pass back to Valencia. And now it's with De Gea. Penalty area way to our right. It's been an emphatic win for the red half of Manchester, but surely Robbie, they're too far adrift of Chelsea to actually challenge for the title. You didn't hear me. Yeah, I said surely they're too far adrift of Chelsea to challenge for the title.
Yeah, Chelsea win the lead now, and no doubt about that. You know, we're 7 points clear, game in hand as well. You know, so no chance. Chelsea's title.
Valencia with a throw-in on the far side of the field. A few improvements to be made in the summer for Manchester United, and then they will be in title contention next season. Now, Michael Carrick has come off, so United down to 10 men. Well, I'd be rather worried about what Carrick's injury is.
Yeah, that's the worry. Obviously, they made all their 3 substitutions. He's just walked off the field there, limping away. He's going to go down the tunnel. He's going to get a standing ovation, but that would be a worry, you know, going forward. But I think they're going to finish in the top 4, but they want to finish in the top 3, Steve. You know, save going through the qualifying Champions League.
Yep,
you know,
that's important.
Yeah, very important. They want to finish in that top 3. Carrick, you know, they want him fit.
Silva back to Fernandinho, on to Silva again. Good play by Silva, and now Aguero waits for the cross. It's not coming from Clichy initially. It's back to Fernandinho. Fernandinho tried to find Lampard, cleared by Manchester United to Yaya Toure, and now it's with Zabaleta. 2 minutes of the regular 90 remaining. Manchester United 4, Manchester City 1. Yaya Toure again. City look very sluggish in comparison. Lampard, good ball to Zabaleta. Zabaleta puts it back. Aguero shoots a second goal for Manchester City. And Aguero, 8 goals in 8 games in derby games. That's not half bad. It won't affect the outcome of this match, not in terms of the direction of the points, but it's some consolation for Manchester City and certainly for Sergio Aguero.
Yeah, it was great run from Zabaleta. The first time we've seen Zabaleta get forward. Pulls the ball back to Aguero. He taps it into De Gea nearly saves it, but great movement. He nips back towards the penalty spot and he puts it into the goal. But it's the first time Zabaleta's got forward, you know, but it's a consolation goal, but, you know, still not good enough for Manchester City.
I thought the pass from Lampard was very good.
Yeah, great pass.
To put Zabaleta through. Now here's Rooney for Manchester United. In the last minute of the 90. Di Maria to Falcao. Falcao being hustled, beat off one challenge, not the second challenge, and Clichy should clear the ball for Manchester City. Oh, he's given it away. That was poor. Herrera into Falcao. Falcao in the pinner, back towards Herrera, but intercepted by Manchester City and cleared upfield to Lampard. Lampard back to Zabaleta. And Zabaleta knocks it long to Aguero, who ironically, of course, could complete a hat-trick in the remaining time at Old Trafford, even if his side's not going to get even a point from the game. Ball's out of play. Nasri with a throw-in for City. Back to Zabaleta. And Zabaleta to Nasri. Nasri with Yaya Toure. Infield. Nasri ignores him. Plays it instead to Fernandinho. On to Aguero. Right side of the penalty area. Jinks one way then the other. Taps it back to Yaya Toure. Fernandinho to Yaya Toure. It's not even at walking pace. They're just tapping short passes amongst themselves. 3 minutes of added time here on 5 Live in the World Service. United 4, City 2 in a pretty dramatic derby game at Old Trafford. Demichelis to Nasri. Nasri once more. Lampard trying to quietly ghost into position. Zabaleta has the ball near side with Yaya Toure. Zabaleta back to Nasri. And now to Aguero. Aguero with Smalling across to cover. Oh, he does well. Aguero crosses towards the far post. That almost reached Frank Lampard. Cleared by Manchester United. It would be a silly scoreline if it turned into 4-3.
Aguero's
United dominance. Here's Valencia. Valencia now. 2 and a bit minutes of added time remaining. Now, the shot driven in by Di Maria, saved by Joe Hart. Joe Hart throws it out quickly to Zabaleta. On to Yaya Toure. But look, it's all pedestrian. There's no urgency.
I've got to say, Aguero for Manchester City has been brilliant. He's their bright spot, no doubt about it.
Yaya Toure looking for Aguero, and it almost got through. Rocco got a partial knock on it, but anyway, Aguero was offside, and no need for the free kick. Good refereeing by Mark Clattenburg, allowing play to continue, even though the ball is hit out of play on the far side of the field for a throw into Manchester City. Lots of empty seats around Old Trafford. Now the traffic is horrendous, trying to get away after a crowd of 76,000, but it'll be the red half of Manchester smiling tonight. Now pass forward to Aguero again. Once more he's moved too quickly, and it'll be another free kick to Manchester United. 1 minute added time remaining. What are your overall thoughts, Robbie?
I think United have been absolutely brilliant. The movement, the pace to their play, high tempo, with and without the ball. Fellaini, magnificent. Herrera pulling the strings in midfield. Smalling a rock at the back. Absolute dominant performance. With the exception of Aguero, City very poor.
Free kick taken. And then Rooney smacks the ball towards the left side ahead of Blint, and it's out for a throw-in. And Mark Clattenburg just looking at his assistants. There's not really much need to carry on playing. The scoreline, such as it is. City fans trying to take consolation. I don't know why. Their side's been comprehensively outplayed. Smalling hits it high towards Falcao. Dimichelis allows it to bounce, and it's behind for a goal kick. 15 seconds of added time left. Don't forget the climax of the Masters tonight on 5 Live, and before that 606 0500 909 693 is the number to call. Hart with a goal kick. Glance at his watch by Mark Clattenburg. The final whistle. United celebrations. An emphatic win for the home side, and they've ended this run of City victories in derby games. Robbie.
Yeah, brilliant performance from Manchester United. Full of confidence, great attacking play, good defensive at times from Smalling and Jones. De Gea not tested enough from Manchester City's perspective. Brilliant performance from United, deserved winners.
Final score, United 4, City 2.
And if you want to respond, the line's open for 606 with Ian Wright and Kelly Cates, 0500 909 693. Robbie, it's amazing, isn't it? If you cast your mind back to when these two sides met at the Etihad earlier in the season, you couldn't envisage the golfing clash between the two sides that there would be this afternoon.
No, incredible. Even a month ago, Darren, before United played Spurs, you know, I was thinking, can United get in the top 4? But since that Spurs game, they have just been transformed, and players have grown in confidence. Herrera, Fellaini's performance, they couldn't handle him, Fletch. Defensively, City, very poor. They've got to rebuild in the summer, no doubt about it.
I thought one of the key points you made during the course of the second half was just how poor Manchester City were when they weren't in possession of the ball. The fact that Manchester United worked so hard and didn't give them a minute's peace when they got it, but when Manchester United were in possession, it's far too easy for them, wasn't it, today?
Yeah, that's where you see Barcelona when they lose the ball there, how they try and win it back quickly, and that's what United have done. When they lose it, they win it back and try and, you know, go on the attack again.
You did say during the course of the match, and I think we spoke about it yesterday morning as well, that you look at the situation at Manchester City now, and maybe it's time to try and build the second team. As you mentioned during commentary, the bulk of the players here are Roberto Mancini players from the championship winning side that he put together. If you were to do that, though, bearing in mind there's financial fair play and all that kind of thing, you would have to potentially sell before you could buy. What about the values of some of these Manchester City players? What would you get back for some of them to be able to then go and buy players who can compete on the highest stage in the Premier League and the Champions League?
Yeah, that's the dilemma they have, Fletch. What they're going to do, who they're going to sell, because this squad, you know, I think it's at its day. You know, Sir Alex Ferguson used to rebuild teams, didn't he, on a regular basis, and this is now a point in City's, you know, going forward. They have to rebuild this aging squad. I think they've got to change their manager in the summer. It's not been acceptable. I think there's been complacency. They've been poor at times, tactically at times. I think it's now a rebuild job in the summer.
We talked about this being a pivotal day, didn't we, for two people, and then there's a third person just away to my left-hand side signing autographs for the supporters at the top of the step to the director's box, Sir Alex Ferguson, who's been here today watching the game. Penny for his thoughts at the moment. This was probably the first big game that Louis van Gaal's been involved in with Manchester United that he was expected to win when you looked at the form of the two sides, and his team have stepped up today. What does this do for his status at the club, within the city, as he tries to rebuild this team and take it forward?
Well, you can see the reaction of the fans after the game. There's a belief coming to this game today, Darren. I think there was, you say, the game they expected to win, the belief. I think now that people have said in his first year, he doesn't do that well, but he takes a period of time to build the club, and that's what he's doing. I was, quite negative at times, where they've been beat by Swansea. The Swansea have done the double over them this year, but this was the big, massive test when they expected to win, and they passed it with flying colours.
Alan, from a Manchester City perspective, they were singing you're going to get sacked in the morning. You made the point with Robbie during commentary, it won't happen in the morning, but it might well happen in May. Where does this leave Pellegrini and this Manchester City squad with the remaining games to play and some hungry teams behind them potentially as well?
Well, I still think they'll have the quality to finish no worse than fourth. I'll be very, very surprised if anybody catches them. However, I think what has happened in 2015, it just looks stale from a City perspective. I think that Pellegrini, when he talks, he's not convincing. It's looked as obvious to me as I think it has to Robbie that he's on his way out. I mean, there's constant talk in the papers. It may only be talk about who's being approached, and certainly if a certain manager was persuaded to leave Bayern Munich, Guardiola would probably be at City. I don't think he's got any future, Pellegrini. I think there must be doubts about the people who are controlling the football at the top of the club. They've got to rethink their transfer policy, because it ain't good when you're buying supposedly ready-made players like Mangala, who patently isn't worth the money that they paid for him. If you're going to spend big, it's got to be big enough to demand the quality that can slot in to the team right away. Look at the team today. Nobody came in the summer that made the team today. So that's all got to change. City aren't right. I know they've won 2 titles in 3 years, but there's a long way to go before they put themselves in a position to properly go up against the likes of Manchester United.